August 23rd, 2024. Just pulled the old girl out of the shed. She still starts. Put a set of batteries in her and she pretty well fired right up. It's been 3 years since she's had a good run. We fired it up last year and put a little bit of fresh fuel and some fuel stabilizer in it. This year we put some more fuel stabilizer in it and filled the fuel tank right up with some fresh diesel. So that 1 tank of diesel will probably do us for pretty much all the combining we're going to do. We have about 100 acres to do. Some of it's oats and some of it's barley. And yeah, we'll see if the old girl gets her done. Going to give it an oil change and clean it up and check it out. And needs a straw walker before we get started, so that'll take a day or two. But we got some time, so I'm going to get on her here. Our 860 Massey combine needs a new straw walker, so we're going to start taking it apart and get a new one stuck in there. I'm up top. Gonna open up this back hatch door so I got some light and we can see what's going on in there. Those are straw walkers, and you can see that outside one on the end. She's broken. The block is gone on the crank up there, so needs fixed. The chopper is in the forward position right now, and we're going to need to slide it back so we have some more room to work. First, we got to loosen these jam nuts off on the chopper. Unplug the chopper sensor. And we would have taken the belt off it, but the belt is already off. We just had it move forward, so it took up a little bit less room in the shed. So the belt's off it. Now we got to try and jerk it loose and slide it back. Sometimes the chopper flails, or whatever they're called, kind of bind up, so if they're catching on something you got to flip them down, but I think we're okay here. Got a lot more room back here to work now. Some more light. We're going to take the screens out. You can do this job with the screens in, but it's really uncomfortable and awkward and hard on the screens. It's just way better off to pull the screens out. If you have to do it with the screens in, yeah, it's not good. You'd have to lay something on top of them. And so we're just going to jerk them out of there. sometimes they come out easier than others. Oh, it's going to be easy, this one. It's not that many years ago it was out. You can edit that out with a smiley face, can't you? Alright, this is going to drop it down, I think. Alright, just hang on.
Heavier than the last ones. Look at that dust.
Yep.
Trouble lights in the way. Just trouble. Mr. Light? Okay.
Watch your back and out. We're gonna get some boards to put across here because this tin really isn't stiff enough to really support a guy crawling around on it too much. So we're gonna lay some boards across here so we can work. And the next thing we have to do is take the grain pan off, which is this thing above here. Looks like there's a little bit of play in the bearing up there. We'll probably tighten them up a bit when it goes back in. Yeah, it's a fair bit of play. So we'll tighten those up when things go back together here. But yeah, we got to loosen off the grain pan. It doesn't have to come out. We can slide it forward and back enough to work. You just want to be careful at the back of the combine when you're moving this thing around that you don't get mouse trapped into something. Make sure that it doesn't get where it might pinch you. So yeah, we'll get that set up. Found a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, just the right size to sit in here, give me a work surface. And this bolt here will have to come out. I think we'll take it out before we take the bolts off the blocks inside. And that's holding the weight of the grain pan, so when that drops down, it's gonna drop down and rest on a bar inside. But when it comes out with some force, so you wanna not have your fingers in the way, and maybe a controlled descent would be better than a free fall. When you pull a bolt out of here, the bearing inside has some needle bearings in it. So as long as you leave the middle part inside the bearing, everything stays put. But don't happen to let that come out of there or you'll lose a bunch of little parts. Okay, ready? Pull that bolt out.
Okay. Hey, it's out.
Okay. Good?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I'm going to mark these blocks on the grain pan so that we put them back where they came off of. They have these little tin things here. You just got to bend the corner out of the way, and then we can unscrew the bolts there. And see, one has come loose a little bit already. So we'll get that done. what they look like. You could hand me the screwdriver.
All right, we slid the grain pan way towards the back of the combine so that Glenn could crawl in there and get the front bolt on that straw walker. You really just have to be a bendy guy to do all this. You a bendy guy, Glenn?
Yeah. I'm a lame bendy guy. I'm gonna drill them from inside on the other side of one of these.
When Glenn was a teenager, he crawled right through those little slats and he was trying to unhook the straw walker bolts from the other end and got stuck. He was stuck in there for a couple of hours. They were trying to get him out. His foot got caught pretty bad.
This is a new block up here.
Yeah, I see that.
I replaced these back blocks when I was in here last time. A bunch of them that were loose. But apparently the front one was no good. It's not like this was loose either. Like the tension feels right on it. So I don't know why it's hammered out like that. But it sure is. Thought maybe this would be loose, but it's not. It's just old, kind of like me. We got the straw walker unbolted, and we're going to try and take it out the top. These red little floppers in here are kind of going to be in the way. So there's just a cotter pin on that rod that they pivot on the top. So I'm going to pull that cotter pin out and slide that back, and we'll have some more room to work because those flippers are really a nuisance. In the washer. There.
Should go right in with that top hole, Glenn. No problem.
on, straw walker. Mistake I made taking the straw walker out is I didn't take out this flapper here, and that was really in the way. I took it off to put it back in because there was no way it was going to go with it still in place. But yeah, take that thing off to get it out of your way. It'll give you a lot more room to work. This goes out if your straw walkers are overloaded and not going through your chopper, and sets off the alarm in your cab telling you that you're plugged or going to plug up really quick if you don't do something different. So take it off before you pull the straw walker out. It's a two-person job, just because the bolts are on the wrong side of the man hatch. So Mrs. Cow Emporium did that for me. Thank you, Mrs. Cow Emporium. I ordered a straw walker from a used parts place, and because it was one of the outside ones, they were pretty short on stock. They had a couple there, but they had a few cracks in them, so they sent me the one that had the fewest cracks. So I'll have to do a little bit of welding. You can see there's just a tiny crack starting here, and that's where the old straw walker, where that all got tore out. I was hoping that the blocks would look like they were loose or something was wrong, but everything was turning nice. So I think it's just the old one was just old and fatigued. So we're looking at the old one now, and there's another crack happening here. That was probably from it banging around in there after it got unhitched from its regular self. But looks like we got the right part here anyways, and I'll just do a little welding on it to kind of try and keep these cracks from spreading, and we'll put the new one in when we get a chance here. That's the old one. Here's the new one. Thanks for watching.